We have a spotlight on COVID-19 series that pretty much we've gathered and curated to bring professionals and people involved in the community, such as Andy, to share resources with you all. What do we want to ask Andy here? What are those resources that we're looking for the small businesses in South Florida in particular?
So we're looking for information where we can direct the people if they have questions about how to keep their businesses afloat, and anything that you would like to add from what your organization is doing.
So that's a great question, Miriam. Thank you. You know, these are very challenging times. These are very difficult times for everybody, including small to medium business owners. In our association in Kendall, we are doing constant meetings via Zoom. We are using the power of technology and social media to stay connected. We're also offering our services at either very, very low cost or completely free to our other members in the community, just to be able to keep the tires inflated. You know, it's the difficult times for everybody, and these times have been really unseen. So as far as information on the food banks, I think that there's many organizations that are doing a fantastic job at keeping the food supply going. You know, there's a lot of media. I would suggest that people follow, you know, the sources that give the accurate information as far as when food is being handed out. We really have not been keeping abreast of that on our end. In South Florida and South Florida professionals, we're basically focusing on providing the small business owners with the tools, the knowledge, and the different technologies available to be able to keep operating at a small level, but keep operating and keep their business to continue to move forward.
Andy, what are we seeing as far as small businesses and, you know, what the future holds for them? As far as people have already been down in business for about 2 months, outreach that those small businesses with low capital can reach out to.
So that's another great question. Small business owners have a real challenge on their hand. We all do. As a small business owner myself, we are facing challenges from businesses that are not able to meet their financial demands. We work with a lot of businesses that have space at retail locations. Some of their landlords are being flexible. Unfortunately, some landlords are not being flexible and understanding. We foresee a lot of action in the legal system the days following tomorrow. Again, these are uncharted waters, so it's hard to tell exactly, but I do know there's going to be a lot of turbulence out there. There's going to be a lot of issues that are going to come up, and all of us are going to have lessons learned that we never felt that we needed to navigate these waters. We work with a lot of restaurant clients. Restaurants in particular are getting hit very hard. Restaurant staff and employees are getting hit very hard. Those restaurants that have been able to adapt to a carry-out and pickup type format are surviving. We work with several restaurants that actually are doing okay during these times because they have focused a lot on their current clients, being able to maintain the kitchen staff on board, being able to maintain the kitchen to operate day and night, and being able to provide food. So those people that can innovate, that can change, and they can adapt to the new world are going to be doing fine.
And that innovation and adaptation that you're speaking of is something that people had to, for those that didn't necessarily have the means of that routine, it took them, you know, about a few weeks to catch on with the whole carry out, takeout. Is that just what they're going to have to adapt to from here on out? And if that is it, you know, what about those businesses that get left behind?
That's a great question. And, you know, we're Americans, we're survivors, you know, especially here in the South Florida market. There's a large population of the Hispanic community, and as we all know, we learn to adapt. We learn to roll with the punches, and we learn to be able to survive. One of the trends that we're seeing is that a lot of restaurants are becoming a restaurant and a mart at the same time, meaning you go into the restaurant, you order a pizza, and you could pick up a couple rolls of toilet paper, a couple boxes of gloves. So besides picking up food, you're picking up your daily supplies. That is one thing that we're seeing. Those restaurants that have a system where you would have a buffet line and people can eat and they can fill their plates from a buffet, I think that those times are gone for a while. People are going to be kind of uneasy grabbing a spoon and serving themselves after somebody else grabbed the spoon earlier. I think those restaurants are going to have to change their model. And more, we're seeing restaurants adapt to the takeout industry. We're seeing less and less restaurants use these food delivery systems because of the high percentages that they tag on their margins. You have companies that charge up to 30% to deliver a hamburger. Well, restaurants cannot afford that now. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity for drivers, a lot of opportunity for restaurants to bring in a lot of staff to do their own food drop orders. So everything is changing. And, while we're going through a difficult time, those that are positive and able to adapt, there's going to be a lot of future involvement and opportunity going forward, I believe.
So as influencers, how can we be of service? How can we help your organization or the small business communities? We want to know how we can be of assistance, and because right now what we're trying to do also is unify the community. We feel it's important that we all come together, and we really are in this together.
So the message that we're trying to get out there to our base, to our clients and to our networks is you have to adapt. What was normal yesterday is no longer. What's going to be normal tomorrow is still unseen. You got to innovate. You got to adapt. You have to adjust to consumer trends and consumer behavior. It is said, we're now at the end of April, it's said that, we may have to wear masks for a year or so. How is that going to affect you and your business? If you're a restaurant owner, how is that going to affect? How are people going to eat at a table with a mask on? What policies are you going to have? So us, as people that work in the social media field, I think that our responsibility is really to teach those business owners that are not so versed in social media technologies and tools is how to leverage these particular tools. One of the things that we're seeing already and that we're implementing in one of our projects, by the way, we own and operate a site called South Florida Professionals, which is a virtual network for businesses to connect. And I want to offer all of you viewers a membership for free. You guys can join for free there. And one of the things that we're implementing there is for restaurant owners is an online menu where it's achieved via your cell phone. So you basically pick up a cell phone, you walk into a restaurant, you don't have to grab a menu that somebody else has grabbed. The restaurant doesn't have to disinfect that menu. People can order everything on your restaurant menu off of their phones. They can place the order. The waiter can just come in, charge the order, and pick it up, and it's going to be as easy as that. So as influencers, I urge the community to basically help to teach, help to show other business owners the tools. Zoom is a great tool that is being used now more and more. And I believe that going forward, it's going to continue that way.
So we are hearing that there's some restrictions that are going to be lifted coming Thursday and Friday. Anything from your point of view that we should know about? What do you advise about? Do you think we're ready for this to happen? What is your input on this?
Well, that's a great question, and it's a question that is a very dangerous question at that. My gut feeling, my gut feeling, and it's a little bit biased because almost 100% of our work is done behind a keyboard on a computer screen and online. But we do understand that life has to try and get back to some sort of normal, whatever that may look like. So we understand the slow, gradual opening of the public spaces, facilities, beaches, boating. We get it. We get it. However, we need to be careful and just continue to obey the guidelines, the flatten the curve guidelines that we have been observing as a community for these past 4 to 6 weeks. Because I'm afraid that if we do not do that, there's a lot of people that may not show any symptoms, and we may end up where we were a month ago, month and a half ago, and nobody wants that, especially our small to medium business owners.
I just want to go ahead and reiterate what Andy had mentioned earlier about that website, South Florida Professionals, and that is open for anyone involved in entrepreneurship or small business. Andy, and this is only for South Florida, not the whole state of Florida, correct?
So this project was begun about 4 years ago in development, and even before the virus was a thing, we wanted to build a network, a virtual network, where people can meet other small business owners. They're able to connect and use tools, processes, and technologies to be able to conduct business. The network itself is built on a very fast platform. It's very heavy in the use of video broadcasting, Zoom, social media channels, very complete network. And it goes from the Orlando market all the way to Key West.
And I just wanted to thank Andy for his time, and I appreciate all your feedback, all your information. I will definitely join the network and share it with my friends and everyone that is in this field. And I think that is a really great resource, and thank you for building this digital community. I think that this is the moment, and it's going to be very, very useful.
Thank you very much. I want to thank you both for being the glue, being the glue that brings the fabric of our small business owners together. Thank you.
And to add to that, Andy, thank you again for joining us here on the Spotlight COVID-19 series, curated by Miriam. And thank you. You have a wonderful afternoon. You stay safe.
Called Let's Talk Business. In today's segment, I have someone very special. My motto is just, kind of shining the light on people's dreams and people's hard work, and at least get the word out there for you.